Greetings from Southern Yankee Homestead. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. So today we're getting into our new purchase. We have a MTD Yard Machines 20-ton hydraulic wood splitter. It is a horizontal and vertical. I'll show you that probably a little bit later. The problem is the hydraulic pump is not pressurizing enough. It starts whining once it has to apply pressure. The prior owner believes that the pump is bad. Well, instead of purchasing a new pump, I have my old log splitter here. So, give you a little tour. This is the log splitter. As you can see, MTD 20-ton. Basically pull this pin and this whole beam shifts up, which we'll probably do when it comes time to do the engine swap. Yes, I said that right, engine swap. This is a, what is this? Greyhound 6.5 horsepower gas motor. I have no idea who Greyhound is, but it looks like a powerhouse that they'd sell at Northern Tools, some Chinese made thing. If it's a good motor, let me know down below. I'm not going to get rid of it. But why would I use that when I got a perfectly good Honda GX160 right there, 5.5 horse, with a perfectly good hydraulic pump attached to it? So what we're going to do is we're going to scavenge from my old wood splitter to make this new wood splitter work. By scavenge, I mean we're going to basically pull the motor, pull the hydraulic pump, pull the bracketry off the other one, swap it onto this one, and then move this motor and pump onto the other one, onto the MTD. Probably could just swap the pump, but once we've got that hydraulic line cracked, we're going to be leaking fluid anyway, so why wait? I'd rather have the Honda. How about you? Oh, and for reference, when I came out earlier it was 90 degrees with about 70% humidity. We're shooting for 95 and the surface of the sun later today. So if you get a lot of background noise, sorry, I'm running the damn fan. Oh, milkshake. That'll bring all the boys to the bar. Lovely. Oh, that's just absolute genius. One Honda motor. at it. There's a metric thread, 24. Alright, we're back. I did some thinking on this, and I think I figured out why the original pump failed. Right here, you see, I got this tightened down so it's tight, but this stuff is still very loose. I can't adjust the coupler any closer. So what I think happened was the prior owner had replaced the pump, or he replaced the motor with a different style, and then he put these spacers in here to make up the difference. The problem is, I think it clamped it too much, so it put undue strain on the motor itself, which caused it to internally go bad. So for a solution, went to one of the stores and I picked up some grade 5 carriage bolts. I picked up several nuts as well as a host of washers. The idea I have is I can adjust the depth that the hydraulic motor goes in or comes out, so I can take all the strain off the motor itself so that it's just a rotational force, not a compressed rotational force. Don't know if it'll work, but stick around, let's see what we can find. Now, just want to lock these in just a hair. Still going to be a bugger, I'm sure. Alright, so I still have a little bit of a gap there, but we don't have the same issue we had before. Also notice that I haven't tightened that down all the way either. By that, I mean the collar. should work. As I suspected, not the original motor to this wood splitter. How do I know? You got two sets of holes. These are threaded, these are not. So my guess is the original motor was threaded on here and someone moved it over. This is where I pulled it from, which is the holes, if you notice, don't have the exact same lineup. They're not as square as the original four. And right here you can see a little bit of rust here. So these are the older holes, while these were the newer ones. I think we're going to utilize the newer ones when we put the motor back in, but won't know until I get it in. Guess the next thing's to fire it up, see if it works before we continue. Well, obviously it works pretty good. There are a couple things I want to address. One, I noticed when it was splitting, this is loose, and that's loose. I also noticed as it was coming back, if a log is stuck on it, it can get pushed off and it's right directly over the motor where it's going to break loose. So I think I need to put some kind of a cage or get some kind of a setup so that a log can't land on the motor itself. So let me go ahead and attack the stuff that I can right now, and then we'll look at going to the store and picking up parts to make this a little bit more safe for the motor. I went online, I found these two pieces. This little spacer and this little spacer. It was anywhere between 30 and 60 bucks for the pair, plus shipping and handling. I wasn't going to pay that. So what I did was I went up to my local fabrication place and had these made for 20 bucks. All this is a 5/8 inch solid stock spacer, 2 inches long, and this is just a piece of basically drilled out tubing that works as a spacer also. So let's go ahead and put this back together. Alright, after the battery died, I went ahead and chased the threads on all the bolts. Or at least this side. The other side was still good, as you can see, but two of these were loose. One of them was slightly bent, so I chased the thread with a die and went ahead and tightened it down. I also took out one shim, so now this fits much tighter. I also adjusted the other side so this head doesn't move around all over the place. I think at this point I am ready to experiment and see how it actually splits big stuff. Unfortunately, the weather is disagreeing with me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off, go in, make dinner, because Hun will be home soon. Throw this extra shim on the shelf. I don't think I'm going to be needing it anytime soon. And we'll see you in the next scene, even though it will probably be the next day for me. Well, I think that's going to conclude our video for our $400 wood splitter. There are other mods I need to make. If you noticed during the video, the logs are coming off the side and hitting the motor, which is no bueno. So we're going to go ahead and at some point make up a rack system that will keep the logs from hitting the wood splitter, as well as we're going to need something to help hold some of this up there, because it's kind of awkward, you know, holding those pieces up there than having to bend over a couple times. So I'd like a little platform. So that will be coming down the line soon. I'm probably going to do it with mostly what I have around here as far as scrap metal goes. So stay tuned for more on this wood splitter. And again, I paid $400 for it. I think I have $8 in fluid invested and $4 in bolts. I think that's about it. No, it's $2 in bolts. Yeah. $2 in bolts, $20 in hardware, and $400 for the machine itself. So for under 450 bucks, we have a much needed upgrade to our splitting here on the homestead. So if you made it this far, why not hit the subscribe button? And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.